Today we are talking to Jason Kazar. He's the developer of the Coachpad. How are you doing, sir?
Great. Thanks for having me on here, Coach.
No problem at all. Before we even get to like what is the Coachpad and all that, you want to kind of give you your background on how you end up and kind of transition that into what is the Coachpad.
Yeah, you bet. I've been a player, since high school. Played some collegiate ball at Kansas State. Played a little professional ball here and there. After that, and then got into coaching. Had to decide on what I wanted to do. I tried my hand in some college coaching. That's kind of where it started in 2006. I was at Bethel College in North Newton here in Kansas, and defensive GA, and drawing all the scout cards for the defense. And oh man, if you've ever done that, I think everybody knows what that's like. And back in the day, everything was drawn by hand pretty much. The technology really, it was just starting to come around. I mean, obviously there was PowerPoint and coach's office and some of those things, but a lot of people, I think, were still doing things, the black magic, permanent marker and everything, and stuff in binders, those clear vinyl sheets. Oh man, I think I have PTSD from that, still. And did that for a year, and then I got into high school ranks. Decided to become a public school teacher, and became an assistant coach on defense up here in Manhattan, where I went to high school, and then was a DC for a couple years, and then just been last couple years been doing middle school.
Yeah.
And ever since then, since 2006, like I said, I just been trying to figure out there's got to be a better way to do scout cards than stuff in binders. And then we started getting all this film. We had the VHS, then went to those DVDs, and then Huddle came along and started changing the game there. DSV, Apex, some of those old school technology for video. And it was really just trying to save coaches time, right? Give coaches back their time so they weren't driving to meet up and then being able to just look at cut-ups, look at games online. And so I said, well, we got all this technology. We started getting, all these end zone cameras, all the sideline cameras, sideline film replay. And then a lot of great drawing programs are still out there. And there's still several, we were talking earlier about Pro Quick Draw. You got Just Play, you got Huddle Practice Scripts, PowerPoint, Playmaker Pro. There's just a number of drawing platforms, but so many coaches, were stuffing binders like myself. 2006, I'm stuffing binders, because I was, still drawing things by hand. And still to this day, there's a lot of coaches that like to draw things by hand. And I said, hey, I need to come up with something to help coaches outdoors in the sun. That's the big thing, outdoors in the sun, where you can see all your plays outside on that bright sunny day, which you can't do, in my opinion, on other tablets that have been out for a while. And so I developed the last couple of years. It's really started coming together, the Coachpad, and I developed the Coachpad. It's a 13 3-inch screen because I felt coaches need a large piece of paper to see the plays on, to show their plays on to their kids. And so I got this 13.3-inch device, and you can either draw by hand. It fits either coach. You can draw by hand, draw your plays on there. Everything stores, or you can use one of these programs that are out there. Pro Quick Draw, Just Play, Huddle Practice. Probably 80% of our users right now across the country are Huddle Practice Scripts users. Okay. And so they drew everything on there. And instead of printing off into stuff in a binder, in 5-10 seconds, they're loaded on the Coachpad, and boom, they're out the door and in the sun. So that's kind of how that journey began, and kind of what we're doing with the Coachpad. And I'm really excited to share this with coaches all around the country, around the world. We got, we're talking about international coaches. It's amazing how much football is being played all around the world, and probably more so for the defensive guys, because we tend to draw a lot more cards, as you probably know.
Well, yeah. I mean, I need 3 to 10 cards tops. I mean, here's a couple fronts, and then I can either write down blitz so and so, or draw it up. I mean, there's only so many fronts that somebody's going to show, especially at the high school level. I remember those days when I was in DC, and I'd have that giant stack that you spent all weekend on drawing up. and then you're like, okay, and then every year you reevaluate. Do I leave that as a number? Do I make them a letter? Do I make them a color? Because kids like to try to switch and like that old pain in the. But yeah, I don't disagree, Coach. So why don't you go ahead and just kind of demonstrate, show off, and we can kind of talk from there.
Yeah, I got a couple of slides here I'd like to show, just kind of showing the way we do things. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here for all you viewers that are able to watch this. So here's a little diagram I put together. This kind of shows that cycle that we go through, kind of visual I put through. So, we film and intercut games, we exchange film, do all that breakdown. So much of this stuff happens on technology. And then, we prepare for practice, get all that practice stuff together, and obviously in Huddle they have the, magic scripts and practice scripts and stuff and a lot of these other programs. But then we get this gap, and this is that gap I was talking about where I feel, so many of us, we're printing the paper and stuffing those binders. And that's the problem I'm solving with the Coachpad. And I'm trying to help coaches so that this circle of efficiency just keeps flowing. And so during practice time is where this gap is.
Yeah.
And then you just move on from there. You film your practice and come inside, start annotating maybe your practice film, and you just keep rolling from there. So that's that graphic I was kind of referring to earlier.
All right.
And got another little PowerPoint here showing the Coachpad, and you can see there's some teams across the country. South Dakota, down in Texas, here in Kansas, and we got East Coast, West Coast, and that's the exciting thing right now is that teams on the West Coast and East Coast, some of those states are the ones that didn't play in the fall, and so they're playing right now, and they're using the Coachpad. So I'm able to see. It's really exciting to get pictures from coaches that are using it out there in the practice, and then as I was let me see it changing here. Yeah, there we go. So. Kind of a couple pictures there of a play drawn by hand, and then there's a Huddle practice script, and I'm gonna put this video here, and it kind of shows the ease. You don't have to deal with those clear vinyl sleeves anymore outdoors in the sun. So this is on a bright sunny day, and you got to play on there, and instead of flipping clear vinyl sleeves, you just you can use your finger and changing cards.
Now that's all pre-downloaded on there, right? So you don't have to worry about internet connection or any of that stuff.
No, that's pre-downloaded. Yeah, you can. Coaches are just pulling it up like a USB and just boom, loading all their cards on, sticking it in different folders. A lot of coaches have said that's one of the greatest things they like is you can store all your game weeks on there. So, you mentioned those 3 to 10 cards. Those are probably all year, right, Coach? Yeah. 3 to 10 cards you need all year. And so you could have those in a folder, and then maybe your offense or special teams coordinator wants to have some cards on there that you can use. And so you can file things away. We got a little outdoor kit that we call it, where coaches can carry this outside. It's got a waterproof sleeve for it, and just enables coaches, as you can see. Maybe you're teaching your offense out there. You're doing a little implementation, a little install. Our freshman coach, this is our freshman coach. He really likes it because he can be out on the field showing those freshman receivers, particularly quarterbacks. This is what your spacing needs to be like, where you need to be looking, all that kind of thing, all those kind of things. And you can use it for a game day call sheet. We got coaches that are using it up on the box on Friday nights, not in Texas though, how those Texas rules are, but the schools that can use technology on the sidelines, they're using it up in the box, on the sidelines, writing down the script from the defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, and then doing some off-season study as well. And just a real versatile device, has a lot of features. Just showing, obviously you're watching your game film. You can draw up some plays by hand. You're on a Zoom clinic. Here you can store cards on our cloud service we have, and then you can see little thumbnails of all your cards. And then I had a little comparison of other tablets that are out there versus the Coachpad. And I think you can see in the one picture here, there's a reflection of a tree. That's the last thing you need to be showing your kids is that reflection of a tree. I want to see the play. And just, again, this is in a bright sun with, full brightness on the other tablet versus the Coachpad. And so just really feel it's a game changer. And just reaching out to coaches, on my Twitter, the Coachpad, and I got website and everything. So, for coaches to reach out, a little partnership with Sideline Power. They're helping me with distribution and sales. And, I also got, I can kind of show here.
Okay, now while you're doing that, Coach,
Yeah.
does that when you're talking that sleeve, because obviously, especially like in the Midwest here, we're obviously worried about nonstop rain. Some years you won't get any rain during the season, and knock on wood, and you're good. Other years it's nonstop every week, and so I mean, how that sleeve to cover your pad, how easy is it still to scroll through plays? I mean, obviously same thing happens when you have the old binder. Yes, you have the sleeves on, but I mean, you get the right angle with the rain, it just destroys and soaks your sheets, and it destroys all that too. How easy is it to swipe through stuff with that sleeve on?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, it's still very functional. The plastic and the touch screen allows you to slide your finger and it changes the screen. You can even write on it still through the plastic.
Okay.
And I had a coach that was he had several practices here in Kansas this past fall that used it like he said 5 or 6 rain practices, and he said it worked great. He said it's working great for him, and seals it up, doesn't let any water in, and allows the coach to be outside. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So always ways we're working to do it. Now, is this popping up on the screen?
Yep,
here?
I got it all on the screen.
Gotcha. So there's here's we call it the library. This is where you can store some of your cards. You got Just Play example, First Down playbook. That was another one. Tony Franklin plays. There's this school down in Texas where you can pull up your practice scripts, put them all in a folder, and then you're just as I'm on the screen here, all I'm doing is I'm just sliding my finger across the screen, and I can turn these landscape as well. I'm just going to leave it as a portrait here, but you could turn the play into landscape as well, and you can write directly on it. You hit the little thumbnail, and that shows all your cards. So if coach, you're on play 23, you're like, hey, let's start this over, or hey, let's go back to play 5. All you're doing is touching the screen. And then boom, you're jumping back there. So you can see I wrote on this one.
Yeah.
Put in defense and so forth. So there's that feature, and then we can go to my call it the notes area where you can have all these little folders. So especially head coaches, athletic directors, or really the ones that are ADs and head coaches really like it because they can store all these different files in here, put little folders in here, and so when they come in, they have a folder, and they go into another folder. They got their scout cards, grade sheets, all this kind of stuff. You can put equipment forms on here. Just all kinds of, any kind of form that you would need, and then any of your scout cards. And again, here's the season. Got some scout weeks here, and then you're just again pulling these up and rocking and rolling. And again, it's showing up landscape, but you get the idea. These are hand-drawn cards, and you can see I got the 121 cards in this one up at the very top right. You can see. And then again, I'm just on the Coachpad and holding it, and then I'm just going to be, swiping my finger, and it changes from script, play to play just with a swipe. You have the checkerboard feature, we call it, where it shows all little glimpses of your cards, and you just touch screen and jumps around and goes from there.
Out of curiosity, because I see a couple different templates there on how to draw stuff. How many pre-built-in templates do you have on here?
Yeah, I provide a plethora. I provide like 6 pages of these templates. Okay. You can see I got a couple templates here where I even got a baseball one. We got baseball coaches that are interested in using this outdoors. That's the great thing for high school guys is they may coach another sport and they may want another feature out there.
Yeah.
I got 2 pages on mine, but usually I provide a plethora, and we can even customize it. Here's a coach in New York. He wanted a template where he could teach his kids some coverages. And so he wanted a field with some coverage, some highlighted coverage areas, and then he's going to be able to draw on the field and kind of show where to hit different things on his coverage. And he was using like R4 stuff, Dubmatics.
Yeah.
And so we kind of created this template for him, and now he's got this out in the field, and he can go from there. So really customized. And that's where I come into play, Coach. That's where I'm your guy. I'm the developer. I want this to work for everybody. Okay. I want this to work for each team, and go from there. So that's a little bit on the screen. I don't want to, spend too much time showing it off, but
Yeah.
I can show it off all day, really. But
Yeah.
hopefully that gives everybody that's able to watch here on your channel an idea of what it looks like and some of the things it can do.
Now, I just out of curiosity, if a coach were to order one or multiple coach pads, what is the typical turnaround time of getting them delivered?
Yeah, we have them in stock there at Sideline Power. They're based out of Nebraska, and it's usually a 2-3 day
Okay.
delivery from Sideline Power. So, for spring ball, we got some coaches that have been getting them for spring ball. Obviously, coaches have been using them here for the season that are in those states. But we do our best there at Sideline Power to get them out to coaches in no time. So.
Okay, that's good. That's good, Coach. The kind of the last thing is how do I want to word this? How often? Well, actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I mean, you mentioned customizable and you adjust. What is the typical? I mean, because obviously developing software and updating software can take time. What is the typical turnaround time? Say, okay, I need XYZ template, or even how readily available are you? I mean, because obviously, I mean, it's primarily you. You're the developer. You want to make sure thing works properly. What does that kind of look like?
Yeah, I'm a remote teacher right now in our school district, and I guess when I'm not doing that, I'm doing the Coachpad. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
So, just kind of like you and everything you do. Whenever there's an open chance, I'm working on things. Coaches text me or they DM me on Twitter. They'll get a hold of me on the phone or on text and let me know, hey, coach, I need this. Can you get to? And I'm, in a matter of a couple of days, I'm working on getting those templates done for them. Getting that turned around. So definitely something I'm really passionate about and really just wanting to help coaches have a better experience with scout cards and work with their players. So,
all right. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. Coaches, if you're interested, his Twitter will be below. Link to their website will be below. Please reach out to Coach if you're interested. He can talk to you more about the Coachpad and kind of what they can do for you. And again, you can check out his website. And then, like normal, the tags will be in the bio. So if there's any point of this you want to go back to, listen to, or watch, so that way, like I said, okay, you're curious. Oh yeah, what was that? Or you said earlier, you can just go back to it. Make sure you check out sponsors, affiliates, the Patreon, the support channel, and all that stuff below. And then obviously, if you think anybody would be interested in this, like, share, and subscribe. You got anything before we go, Coach?
Coach, I'm just trying to help. I just want to give coaches back time. A lot of coaches have families. A lot of coaches would rather be doing other things besides stuffing a binder. And that's what I came up. That's why I developed the Coachpad to help them do that. And I really appreciate the opportunity you gave me here. And always a fan. I listen to everything you got going, all your interviews, especially those defensive ones. I'm a defensive guy myself, and thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And again, please give Coach a shout out. Give him a follow on Twitter. Thank you.